Francis Mastrangelo. The autumn equinox has some really interesting features when it comes to perception. I have a course in perception in this particular illustration. I did it to commemorate a journey that I had on the autumn equinox in 1980. I had a very profound dream, and I wound up in this huge stone room with a box, with a stone box, and with a corner cut out of the stone box. And actually, I was in the king's chamber. I had a dream that I was in the king's chamber, but I didn't even know it for about 12 years, and I saw a picture of it in a book about the pyramid. No kidding. Some other things happened, but I don't want to go into that. Anyway, when I woke up out of this dream from being in there, and I didn't know where I was, I didn't get into being a big Egyptologist, although I have drawn this particular pencil on canvas. But one of the things I noticed when I woke up out of this dream was that I could do math. I was 30 years old or 31 or something, and I could just kind of do it. I didn't become like a genius or anything. I could just kind of do percentages, and I could add and subtract abstractly in a more collective manner. In other words, in an overview, I couldn't do calculations in real minute detail, but I could understand it. And then, when I was in high school, I was just drawing pictures. Let's put it that way. Now, on the autumn equinox, what happens, when they built this pyramid, there's 8 sides to it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, but there's also these indents that forms a little cluster in there where you have 8 sides. If you can see this little indent on each edge of the pyramid, they go in slightly, just in, so it becomes 8. And on the equinox, they really show up. They don't show up except on the equinox, these shadows, when the pyramid is cast. And you can see it on Google Earth and all that if you click the images, and you'll see that is the shape of the pyramid. It's not 4, it's 8. And so I encapsulated this kind of prosaic or common little illusion trick that artists do. M.C. Escher did some of this. Of course, this isn't anything on that scale or level. I mean, he's another one that mathematicians really wanted to understand, and well, I do too, but this is the kind of math I do. I still don't get algebra or anything. I had an art student, one of my students, try to explain it to me one time, Look, it ain't that, and he started getting into algebra, and this is my algebra. And so these shadows get cast on the equinox, and that's why I'm uploading this video. I think it's really, really interesting. I have dozens and dozens of these kind of, sight and sound. I have a narrative that goes with all of these. Now this, I'll do next, but this is a preview of Max Planck's dream. Speaking of dreams, and I have dozens of these. So happy equinox, everyone. Maybe in a few years, you'll figure it out. These dreams. The reason this dream was so crazy was because after the dream, there was the math, but there was also a lot of other openings. It was a clarity. And it was really, really interesting. And as I said, I really didn't know what the heck it was all about until I saw a photograph. Now that box is the sarcophagus, and it does have a corner of it that's worn or hewn or kind of mutated from the other corners. And there's never been a body in there. There's all sorts of really cool stuff. There's been fires out here in California. The sky has been really bleak for months and months and months. And this morning I got out of my studio and I looked up and I saw Orion upside down, shooting his bow for the first time. Months and months and months. That was this morning also. There's some weird stuff going on. I spilled paint all over this thing on the solstice. I started painting. I did a bunch of painting. I got tired of drawing. Now I'm getting tired of painting, so I'm starting to draw. So I saw this thing had paint all over it. And if you angle it, you can see the repair. But I had paint all over it. And so yesterday, I had to repair it. It was a mess. And so when I started to repair it, I don't know, this big bird is starting to show up. So that's it. Catch me next time. Max Planck's dream. Particle wave E equals mc squared.